Hello, and welcome everybody. Tanya here with Jenn Ritt. She is a nutritionist and hypnotherapist, and I'm excited to have her here to talk about, what does it take to achieve midlife health. So thank you, Jenn, so much for joining us and being here live.
Oh, thank you for having me. Such a
Yeah,
pleasure.
yeah. And if anybody's here watching, comment. If you're watching the replay, let us know that you're watching the replay. So yeah, I'm excited about this conversation because I think especially as women, but men too, as we hit midlife, our bodies really begin to change quite dramatically, I would say, yes. And it's something, and I disappeared for a second. Um, and I think it's an important topic. Uh, as our bodies change, then there's things that we might have to do differently. So I'm really curious to hear from you, Jenn, what those things are. But before we go into that, I'd love for you to share what drew you to do this type of work. What's your journey?
Well, I have always been fascinated with holistic nutrition. I've always been looking for, the natural fixes versus the traditional medicine fixes. So I started looking into getting certified in holistic nutrition and started on that journey. And while I was working with clients, I started to realize that there's a really big component, a big mind body connection component. And a lot of times it's hard to make a lot of big changes if the mind isn't, talking to the body. So I started to get really fascinated with hypnosis and started working in hypnosis and getting certified in hypnosis, and just was seeing like massive transformation in myself, regarding pretty much everything, but mainly just value and self-worth, and just patterns and beliefs that I had formed in my childhood that I didn't even know were there, that were putting up blocks to different areas of my life, my health, my success, and just in what I really felt I deserved in life. So that really set me on a path of discovery, and kind of set me on fire, because I saw the results in myself. And um, we are really in a crisis right now, especially I believe, in the menopause, in the midlife kind of area. Women traditionally and still are not getting the care that they need from their medical doctors, and they're reaching out in these communities, or reaching out to people like me for support, in different, rather than going to their doctors. And so
Yeah, absolutely. No, I find the regular Western medical model to be entirely, totally unhelpful when it comes to just dealing with certain things. And I have countless, I just know many of my friends who will go to their regular, family health doctor or whatever, and they'll be told it's all in your head, like maybe you need to go see a counselor, that kind of a thing. And it's just limited, and it's not to blame the doctors. I mean, they're basically acting in the way that they have been taught,
yeah,
right? That's
exactly.
that's just how they've been taught. That's how you respond. With the tests, you just look at the tests. If the tests say nothing's wrong, it's in the person's head. Doesn't matter what the client is saying or the patient is saying,
Yeah.
and you just kind of see them on their way. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would agree with you that the Western medical model is, in a total crisis.
Yeah,
Complete
it's
crisis.
broken. Yeah.
Completely broken. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I was talking with a friend that was telling me that, oh God, I just can't remember, somewhere on the East Coast, that something like 1 out of 5 people, or even 3 people, are of a certain age bracket, maybe when they're older, that they've got medical debt, that they're not able to pay their medical bills. you
Yeah.
know, and they're also not healthy, you know, they're not actually getting any real healing. And so, yeah, I'm definitely passionate about
Mhm.
as well. So how do you, so tell us about the work that you do, because like you, I completely 100% agree that our thoughts, how we think, affect 100% what's happening in your body,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Can you speak?
And it's, I think it's becoming even, there's so many studies and research now on how important that really truly is in our healing. I was watching something the other day. It was a cancer seminar, and they were just talking about, and I mean, they fit together, the nutrition and the mindset and the body and all fit together. But they were saying, in like a cancer protocol, give me the mind over the diet any day. That's how important it really, really is. So, it's important that you have that mindset, like, I can do this, I can beat this, I can, versus having this kind of anxiety over it and worrying about it. And like a lot of the doctors will give you, and I'm kind of going down the cancer path right now, and I don't mean to, but I find it so fascinating that a doctor will give you basically a time limit to live. And then what happens is your mind buys into that, and then it becomes a prophecy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of Anita Morjani's story. I don't know if you know who she is, but she had a
Yes.
near-death experience, right? Where
Yes.
she was on her cancer journey. She decided to go the natural route and was like feeling great and amazing. And then someone said, well, I think you should get a second opinion, and went back to the Western doctor. And the doctor's like, you have this
Mm-hmm.
many weeks to live. And boom, she fell right back into just
Yeah.
feeling awful and all of that. So, yeah. So can you describe like what, the term midlife health, like what does that actually mean? What
I,
does that mean?
I would describe it as, I kind of fell into the midlife area because I've seen there's several areas of it that kind of fascinate me. This time in a woman's life often can be, other than even menopause, it's often empty nesters or divorcees, or like in kind of my mom's case, she was caretaking her parents, and they're when they're in the middle of all that, they kind of lose themselves. And because they're so busy, like taking care of the kids or being a caretaker, or, in a marriage that wasn't working, or whatever. And they come out of that and they just want to get back to themselves and feel healthy again, feel sexy, and, feel vibrant, and, like live the life that they've, always dreamed of in like the second part of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is what really kind of drew me into this work, is really wanting to give women that empowerment, that transformation to, get their vibrant health back, get their energy back, get out there and just, do the things that they love, rediscover themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you combine the nutrition with hypnotherapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how do you know? So yeah. So so tell me how you work. So do you look at labs? How do you know how to deal or what to prescribe when it comes to holistic nutrition? I mean, I imagine it's food, it's natural supplements.
It is. My complete program, I offer standalone hypnosis packages, which is a package of 4, and I can work on anything with anybody. But my signature package is one that combines both, and I feel like if you really want a massive transformation, you really do need to combine both of those.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do is I start off with the first hypnosis session around whatever issue it is that they bring. Oftentimes it's, it's weight loss or emotional eating or, something along those lines. And then they go through basically a 7-day kind of food journal, like a food and mood journal, where they're journaling what they're eating and then what their habits are, what they're exercising. There's a whole protocol of what they fill out for me. So then at the end of that week, I can go through and analyze where they are with their diet, and I can kind of assess the path going forward. And yes, I do order labs. I can order whatever labs need to be ordered. I always order a food sensitivity test because, that tells us so much. If somebody's consuming something that disagrees with their system or that they have an allergy or sensitivity to, it's going to put your body in fight or flight, and it's going to stress your body out, and you're not going to be getting what you need from it, the healing from it. So we eliminate those foods. And then from there, I just go forward with them. We do biweekly sessions, health coaching sessions to keep them on track. I make recommendations, give them recipes, and then we do 2 more hypnosis sessions around that issue. So it really is a completely, transformative program.
There you go. Yeah, you froze for a second. So yeah, so the hypnosis is coupled with that. And
yeah.
So what do you? So you have different packages for real transformation. Like what do you think really time-wise is
for real
best? Yeah.
I like to do a 6-month package. Yeah. Because for real transformation, it does take some time to instill some new habits. I do the hypnosis sessions like 3 weeks apart, just because every time we do a session, it shifts the beliefs. It opens up a lot. Like, a lot of times you'll have very rigid thinking or patterns that have been set there forever. And as we start talking about them and going through it, it starts to kind of unravel all that thinking and all those knots and loosen it all up.
Yeah.
So that, you can kind of, there's an awareness of what those patterns are and what's going on. And then you will continue to process that thinking for a good 3 weeks, and then you'll start to notice your beliefs and your thinking just really shift. And it takes a good 3 weeks for that to kind of all happen. And then 3 weeks later, we start, back up in the same place, but with the shifted thinking, and we can dig deeper. Mm-hmm. So it's a really, really cool process.
Yeah, for sure. Can you give an example of a client transformation, someone that you've worked with?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I've got several. This woman that I was working with, she kind of interesting. She had this belief around food, and it was more around binge eating and emotional eating. And every time she would do it, every time she would have an episode or whatever, she would just beat herself up. And then she'd just go around and around in circles in that pattern. So we did hypnosis on her and really kind of dug into what was going on and really shifted her thinking around, like, it's okay. If it's okay if you have a, like if you eat ice cream one night, or you do this, like, you don't need to beat yourself up. It's all about balance, and it's all about, the bigger picture, I guess. Yeah. And so it was kind of funny because at first she's a very logical minded person. And at first she was kind of like, I think she didn't really know exactly what to expect. And so she thought it was just going to be kind of another like therapy, drag up all of the old stuff. And so at the end of it, she was like, yeah, I just don't know. There's really not a whole lot that is really surprising me here. And then I met with her a week later, and she goes, oh my God, you have completely 100% shifted my thinking. I have been living with this for so long, and and I don't have to live with it anymore.
Wow.
She was like, now, I'll have a little ice cream or I'll have a little whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine with it.
No big deal.
Move on to.
Mm-hmm. And did she stop the binge eating?
She did, yes. And then I worked with her on the holistic nutrition, customized a plan for her, and got her in some better habits, and just completely changed her attitude around food too. So it's so much fun to see, just to see the transformation with clients. It's just so freeing and liberating for them.
Yeah, it is beautiful. And yeah, and food is such an emotional thing for a lot of people. It's our source of nourishment. And I mean, I can say I know for myself, as a child, I definitely was an emotional eater. Like if I felt uncomfortable about something, or I didn't like how I was feeling, I would go eat. I would more than what I really needed to eat. And because of the family situation, the family stress, all the stress. I don't want to feel it, so this is the only thing that makes me feel good, so I'm just
gonna it's a way of just burying your feelings.
So common. Do you find that and I'm curious about that, so when that's a pattern where eating is a way of not feeling something, when people stop that, like in the case of this client, stopping that desire to want to eat something when I'm feeling something uncomfortable, I imagine that maybe the deeper emotions arise, and then you deal with them as they come.
Yes. Yep. And I work with them on that too, because as they're changing, that kind of thing arises, and they have to put some new habits and things in place that they were used to dealing with in one way, and now they have to figure out a way that works for them to deal with it. A lot of times too, when you do the hypnotherapy, you kind of undig a lot of those things that happened, as a child, that really helped kind of set those patterns in place. But it's fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. So one more question that I have is, do you also address the hormonal issues that come with midlife as well?
Yes. I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the hormone issues come from, and it's very complex because it comes from a lot of things, but most of it comes from stress. And if you're not putting the right fuel into your body, which our food system is really broken too.
Yeah.
If you're not putting the right nutrients in your body, the right alkaline foods, if you're not telling yourself the right thoughts and things, if you're not moving your body, not getting proper sleep, I mean, these are all components of hormonal balance. So your body needs the nutrients, especially as we get older, because our stress hormones are elevated. So you really, really want to practice self-care and nurture, really focus on nurturing yourself and managing your stress and getting proper sleep and all that.
So it's the whole package. And I think a lot of people tend to think like, oh, well, I can just pop this pill or this supplement and that should do me good. And it's like, no. You could take all kinds of things, and if your body can't metabolize it or process it because it's not getting enough rest, or you're not exercising enough, and it's money wasted, right?
Well, and that's what makes me so sad too, because our medical care system does really want to just give you the magic pill, and that it just compounds things. It makes things worse, because then you're dealing with other side effects on top of the symptoms. And quite honestly, all of these things are symptoms. So, and you have to get to the core of what's going on. And, basically that's what I do. And it's a holistic approach.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. So people can find you on the Ritt path, RITT.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes.
Any kind of resource? Share with us what do you have any resources that you'd like to share with the audience, or
I can be. Yes. I do have a website, and I do offer a free discovery call for anybody that just wants to explore, what the options are, and we just kind of talk about, where you are and what you want to see in your life. And I am doing for anybody that kind of wants to get a jump start on the holidays. I'm going to be offering just a quick, a 7-day, basically, where you'll log it's a part of my program, but this will just be a very abbreviated thing, to a limited number of people. It's a 7-day, basically, food journal, kind of an assessment, and then the plan that goes along with it. And then, if anybody wants the continued support, then I could roll them into one of my programs, and then, take the price of the other thing off.
I see. Yeah. Got it. Apply it.
Yeah.
Package.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mentioned my other programs. I've got hypnosis programs, standalone, and then, I'm on Facebook. I've got a Facebook group, and I'm on Instagram. So yeah, I'm out there. I just started my YouTube channel.
Nice. What's the name of your Facebook group?
It's Flourishing Together. It's Health and Hypnosis with Jenn.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes, such important work. It's and I agree with you. I feel like one of the things that I have to remind myself, and I like to remind others, that we do live in a very toxic world, and we do have these amazing. Our bodies are so amazing. I mean, the fact that we can even function with the level of the toxins that come our way in our air, water, or food. And so knowing that, I think it's just so important for people to one, not beat themselves up if they are struggling, like, oh, wow, I'm feeling really tired, whatever. It's like, it's not your fault,
No, it's not.
It really isn't. And that there is a way to heal. The body knows how to heal itself. It's the right things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's an amazingly designed, divinely crafted.
It truly is. And there's a lot of tools out there too that you can use, because I know that there are so many products and household products and shampoos and soaps and cleaners and all that, and they are so full of chemicals, and your body stores those chemicals, and they make you sick. Yeah. So there are a lot of tools now. Like I use this Yuka app, and I scan all my products before I buy them.
How do you spell that? Y-U-C-A?
Y-U-K-A.
Y-U-K-A. Good to know.
Yeah.
So you have this app, you can scan the product, and it'll tell you.
Yeah. And it'll tell you. It'll rate the product, and it'll tell you, if it's good or bad, and it'll actually break down what toxins are in it and what effect it will have on your body.
I gotta write this down.
Yeah. And I don't think people realize that even I'm like the crazy lady in the drugstore scanning everything, but like a lot of these really high-end products that you spend a lot of money on, and or products you think are clean are not. Yeah. So it's really worth it, especially for things you're putting on your body, like lotions and shampoos and conditioners and that kind of thing, to know exactly what you're exposing yourself to.
Totally. And there's so much deceptive marketing.
There is. There truly is. Yes.
It says it's green, but it's not. Yeah. Yeah. I've been learning that too. So that's fantastic. I hope you guys hear that. Yuka app, Y-U-K-A.
Yeah. That's organic.
Yeah. Organic all the way.
All the way.
My husband is so adamant about being organic. He's a farmer, and I mean, it's just so important, especially if you want to see the world change and become a better place. So we got to choose where we're spending our money more wisely, and not be supporting these things that 100% support life or health at all. So
I mean, the soil these days, and the soil depletion too. You're not getting the nutrients from your food.
Yeah.
So if you buy organic, you're getting nutrient rich,
Yeah.
foods. So it's well worth. If you think you can't afford it, you're getting way more nutrients out of, than
Yeah.
with the organic over the, unorganic. So
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, you guys, check Jenn out. She's a wealth of information. This is her passion. You know, take out the guesswork if you're out there just, oh, maybe I'll try this or that, or read some books. Like, it's really true that, your physical health, there's no one program fits all. Each
it's
body
not.
is perfect, or each body is so unique and perfect
Mm.
in how it's designed and how you function. And so I highly recommend checking Jenn out if you're really looking for deeper support uh, for your health journey. So thank you so much, Jenn, for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is my favorite conversation.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it.
it's good. Yeah, and feel free, if you're watching this, drop your questions. We'll always, they'll get answered in the replay. And yeah, thanks so much, Jenn, and thanks everyone. We'll see each other on the next show. All right, bye.